So I got all my crying out of the way, and I figured we could do some makeup. I don't know if you guys will want to, but I figured I'd ask anyway. So if you guys would like to watch me do my makeup for fun, because y'all know I ain't going nowhere, um, and chit chat at the same time, I would love to do that. So yeah, I gotta turn my phone up. You guys, I ordered the cutest case. I can't. I'll show it to you in just a second. I ordered the cutest. It's like opalized, like opalized. Y'all know I'm obsessed with opals. Okay, so it's like an opal color case, and it shifts colors. And I ordered it off this website called Velvet Cat Cases or Velvet Caviar or something like that. And sorry, I'm trying to use the very last bit of this, damn it, lotion up, so it's like all done. But it's so cute, and I want to show you guys these other phone cases that I want to order also. So y'all know I have the new Galaxy S23 Ultra. I bought it when it first came out because my other one, because I'm on my phone so much, and the S21 I had, or S21 or S22 I had, was great. I'm on my phone so much, so I like to have the newest phones each year because I use my phone for work. So hey Ellen, hey Violet's mommy. Yeah, it's uploaded already. The mom guilt one is, but we can talk about that more on this live stream too. Hey Nicole, hey Brittany. So first of all, let me show you the case I ordered for my phone. This isn't it. It should be coming in the mail anytime now. And I'm also going to show you the lady who makes my jewelry, if y'all want to go order jewelry from her. Dang it. Here she is. Okay, her name is Twisted Copper by Sarah, and let me show you, like, look at this beautiful opal ring she made. She makes such good jewelry. Oops. Gorgeous, huh? So that's her. And then, where's the dang case shop? Okay, so this is the case that I found that I thought was so cute. It's called Cream C Cases. Cream, CYCASES. And they're like cases that have like perfume bottles on the outside of them, but it doubles as a phone stand. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, I love it! So I'm going to order that one next, I think. So this is my second live of the day. I went live earlier and talked about mom guilt, and I talked about moving on from the conversations that I've been having about Jessica Kent. I still feel very strongly about everything that I've said, and I still feel the same way. I'm just trying to pivot from that because my boss and I talked for about an hour today, and he asked me to please not do it anymore because he's concerned for my safety and my well-being. And he wants to use me in a lot of other projects, and so he doesn't want any to say, oh, well, why would we use that girl in our project whenever she's doing this all over her channel? You know what I'm saying? And so, job, and that's my livelihood. And so, I'm gonna listen to my boss. He has my best interest at heart. He always has, and he'll always put, my husband. He always puts my best interest at the forefront, and he always protects me. Okay, so that's that. But so now we can focus on recovery and makeup and fun stuff. He really is a good man. And I'll tell you, this is what he said verbatim. He said, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I think of you as my daughter. Like, please, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. And he pointed out like a very important point to me. He said, you know, he's not diagnosing her or anything. He's seen her video where she talked about having ASPD. And he just said people that have ASPD or narcissism or any of those kind of mental illnesses, mental health diagnoses, they, when they're felt like they're backed into a corner, they will do anything to get the threat that is threatening them out of the way. And God, I'm getting emotional talking about this. I didn't think about that, you know? Hello? Hey, I'm live, girl. On YouTube. Okay, I will. All right, bye. I didn't think about that. A lot of you guys pointed that out to me, but it's different when it's coming from like your mentor, you know, and somebody that you look up to. So, I just don't want to, I don't want nothing bad to happen to my family, and I don't want to lose my job, and I don't want, you know, to disappoint you guys. And I also don't want to push people away from feeling comfortable to reach out to me because they see me talking about somebody else all the time. You know what I mean? And so I'm taking accountability that I did get a little I got a little over triggered, and now I'm reeling myself back in. Okay? Okay. So I hope you guys that came here for that, you know, will stay for me. But if you don't, I understand. I totally understand. Okay? Okay. Now let's get into Z makeup. Oh my gosh. I'm going to use my brow pencil. Where's it at? That one I don't want to open yet because it's still brand new. But I have another one in here that I opened because I ordered 2 at a time because they're super cheap. The brow pencil that I use, you guys, is the NYX brow pencils, the really fine ones. Because there it is. It's best on my brows. Thank you guys. Thank you for seeing that I'm trying to do the right thing. You know, damn, it's hard. It's hard being in recovery, y'all. It's hard being in recovery, and it's hard also. It's hard when people look up to you and you have to do the right thing. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, the worldly Nicole wants to fucking keep going. Okay, and I told Dr. B that. I said, you don't understand. You don't understand, Doc. And he's like, no, I do get it. He says, I know how passionate you are about things. I know. Hello, we've been working together for almost 4 years, and I've been watching you for longer than that. You know? And so, thank God I have good people in my life who know I'm a good person and who care about me and who take me aside and talk to me about things whenever I need to have a good talking to, because I would be struggling over here if I didn't, y'all. Okay, that was just the MAC Face and Body. It's a foundation, but it's very thin. It's almost like water. I just put on my face, okay? Hey, Laura. Yeah, people have seen the truth. I did my due diligence. I did a little bit more than due diligence. But I also talked to him about how I got off my mental health meds, you know, and he's proud of me. But I told him, I said, since I've gotten off my mental health meds, like I do notice myself kind of obsessing over things just a little bit, but not anything I can't control. Like I'm not out of control, you know? And he said, that's great that you're aware of that. So it's really good. I usually talk to Dr. B like once a week, maybe more than that sometimes. But for the last couple of months, he's been really busy, and I haven't got to sit and talk to him for like an hour like we normally do. Normally, we'll have little check-in talks, you know? And I haven't been able to do that with him in a couple months. Since all this shit popped off, I hadn't been able to do it because he's been so busy. And so you can see it's like talking to somebody that you really hold in high regard. It makes you feel good. After you get off the phone call, you feel, you know, a lot better. And I just feel like I needed to do that. And I'm glad I did. Yeah, and so do you see how okay, so this is a great example that we can use of accountability, okay? Do you see how I'm taking accountability and saying, yes, I went overboard a little bit, you guys, and I'm taking accountability. This is what accountability looks like, okay? Owning your mistakes, all right? Um, Now, I am going to start talking. I want to talk in this live stream with you guys about lying, okay? And I want to talk about how when we're in active addiction, it becomes second nature for us to lie, right? A lot of times we'll lie to get ourselves out of a bad situation. Sometimes we'll lie about if we have money so we can get what we need. Sometimes we'll lie or omit things from the story to protect ourselves, right? When we're in active addiction. But when we get sober, and this was a hard thing for me, okay? When I got sober, I had to start being honest, okay? I couldn't walk around and lie anymore because if I lied, then nobody would take me seriously. If I came on here and I omitted things from my story and I lied to you guys about my experiences, you wouldn't be able to trust me, okay? And so when I got sober, that's why I didn't make content in my early recovery, you guys. That's why in my early recovery, all I did was focus on getting sober and staying sober, okay? So, I follow this guy named Chris Howard. I want to show you all this video, okay? And he owns his own treatment center. So he videotapes himself talking to his clients a lot. He doesn't show the clients, he just shows his interaction with them. And I want to show you guys his video about lying.
Do you find lying like lack of accountability? So I'm curious, if you do, why did you lie to me earlier today? Do you remember what I'm talking about? I want to try to give you the opportunity because I'm sure like right now, because of this dynamic, when I bring it up in this manner, like you'll feel anxiety shoot through your body, right? There'll be a certain amount of like, wait, what the fuck did I do? And there was an instance you lied to my face about a situation earlier today, and I'm actually not even sure why you lied. Like so I'm trying to understand. Do you know what I'm talking about? Well, if there's something that's in the back part of your head right now where you go, maybe that could have been perceived as a lie, maybe speak to that. Because I feel like you probably know, too.
I think, was it with like the putting the cleaning stuff away?
It's like you knew exactly what I was talking about right now, too.
I think I miscommunicated with you guys.
What do you mean miscommunicated? Wait. Just so we're clear, bro, you full-blown lied to me. All right, hold on. Just give me 1 sec. I wanna, because I feel like it's important to be direct with you. Because if I'm not direct with you, you're never gonna change this behavior. I'm not jumping down your throat. I'm not beating your ass. I'm having a matter-of-fact conversation about how you blatantly lied to my face about a situation, and I had given you alternative direction around it. And I'm trying to understand. More importantly, you lied. That's fucked in its own right. But I'm trying to actually understand why you lied. So do you have insight on why you lied? Do you find...
Okay. Do you see? Okay, so the guy lied about not putting away some of the board games or something they had out. And he lied, but then even he lied. He probably said, no, I put it all away. And then Chris went behind him, saw that none of it was put away, right? Now he's telling him, hey, why would you lie to me about that? And the guy said, oh, no, I just miscommunicated. No, you lied. You said you put the board game away, but I went behind you and the board game was still there. Do you see what I'm saying? And so isn't that so crazy? That kid is in treatment, okay? So that means he's got the drugs out of his system, but he still hasn't changed his behaviors, right? And so this right here is an exact example of what we've been dealing with lately here on YouTube and on TikTok, and what happens all the time with people who get off drugs and alcohol, but nothing else changes. Okay? Nothing else changes. They don't change any of their behaviors. They don't take accountability. They don't get honest, right? They continue to lie. And even then, when caught red-handed in the moment, that person was trying to double down and say, oh no, I just miscommunicated with you. No, baby, that's not miscommunication. You just told me a lie. That's all. And it's okay, but why would you lie to me about that when you could have said, no, I haven't put it away yet, but I'll do it now, or whatever, right? There was no reason to lie in that atmosphere because that person is protected. All their needs are being met. They're being fed, they're being watered, they're being clothed, they're being housed, right? So what's the point of lying? Well, there's no point. It's just instinct because that person has practiced that behavior for so many years. And now, thank God, that's Chris Howard, thank God they're in treatment so they can actually address those behaviors and make changes in the proper way. Now, imagine somebody like a person on YouTube who has been lying for so long and has gained a substantial following from that. Why be honest when lies have gotten them this far? So what happens is it becomes a problem where, wait a second, this person has got financial gain and this is a way that they're building a lifestyle for themselves through being dishonest. So now, if anybody comes against them and tries to expose those lies or tries to let people know the truth, guess what happens? The person who's doing that to them becomes the target and becomes a threat. Okay? And so for those of you guys that used to follow my old channel, you know I became the threat and my old channel is gone now. Okay, so I wanted to use that example real fast, and now I want to pivot into talking about like getting honest in recovery and how I used to lie all the time. Even when I first got sober, I would lie to my husband about nothing, you know? Like, why would I lie about it? He would say, did you spend $50 on a new opal ring? And I know he's looking in the bank account at the $50 that just got taken out of the bank account, right? And I say, no, I didn't. This is years ago, right? Now I'm like, hell yeah, I did, you know? Why would I say no, I didn't, when I know that he can see that the money has been taken out and it went to jewelry, right? Well, the reason why I would say no, I didn't is because I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'm going to get in trouble. Maybe because I thought he would be angry at me. Maybe because I was ashamed of what I did. You know, but that still doesn't make any excuse for me to continue lying once I'm being called out, you know? And so, learning to be honest and tell the truth is detrimental for sobriety, for a person to be able to stay sober and actually live a healthy, balanced, recovering lifestyle, you know? And I saw that video on TikTok. I wanted to show it to you guys because I felt like God was showing it to me, like, right at this time for a reason. You know what I mean? Yeah, they do. But then when you start taking them into your recovery, the lies, what happens is, I feel like it's innocent when you're still using drugs, because when you're still using drugs, you know, your brain isn't healed. I feel like you're sick, right? But when you start bringing those lies into your sobriety, I feel like that's when it's like fucked up, you know, like, and that's when it becomes a problem, you know, that's when I feel like it becomes a problem. And if you don't address it and get honest, that's when you can develop the pattern of just lying to lie. And then nobody trusts you. Nobody will trust you. Nobody will depend on you. Nobody will believe a thing that comes out of your mouth. And I don't want to be like that, you know? I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be a person who people can't depend on, you know, because that's the old Nicole. The old Nicole used to be somebody that you couldn't depend on. Okay? the old Nicole, what used to be somebody that would say, I'll be there at 10:30 and not show up. You know, and I just don't want to be that person anymore. Like, I have such a drive, you guys, to want to be a person to be able to be there for people. You know? So. His name is Chris Howard on TikTok. So, yeah, a lot of people will lie to avoid difficult conversations. That's true too. Most people, what I believe, most people lie because it benefits them. Okay, so maybe if they tell the truth, they'll lose out on something. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I got so upset yesterday in the Reddit with this person who was basically trying to act like I lied about my story when I was talking about being on benzos, because that, I will be damned. Okay, like, that's one thing like I have never been dishonest about. And the thing about it is, it's like, just because I didn't have seizures doesn't mean I didn't go through benzo withdrawal. You know, like, I was on high doses of benzos for 13 years. It was bad. Okay. And when I finally got off benzos, you guys, it took my brain 8 years to heal and start feeling like a normal brain again. Not 8 years, 8 months. Excuse me. 8 months. 8 months, y'all. Do you know how debilitating it was for me to walk around and hear this like constant ringing in my ears at all times? Oh, yay! Hey, Nate. Oreo's gonna be here tomorrow. We ordered a spider, y'all, a jumping spider. Oh, Tracy's video is gonna be up soon, y'all. She just texted me. Oreo, our spider.
Is he gonna be here tomorrow?
Yes.
At what time?
I don't know, baby, but you want to see a picture of him?
When you said Oreo, I was thinking, are you
Look.
live? Can anybody hear you?
Yeah, they can hear me.
I was.
Look, he's cute, isn't he?
I thought he grows.
No, he's tiny. He's black and white spider, jumping spider.
I thought you.
Yes, they do. Lies get tangled up with more lies. His account's called Chris Howard. And then you can't keep up with them. You know what I mean? And the lies just keep packing on top of each other. That's why we're all with Nate. Honesty is the best policy, huh, buddy?
Yeah.
And there's never, when you think you're going to get in trouble and it feels like you should tell a lie, you always say, you know what? I'm going to tell the truth because it's the right thing to do.
Well, I've told lies to you and you still don't know about it.
What lies have you told to me? It's okay. I'm not going to be mad.
Mom.
I'm not going to be angry at you. Tell me tell me the lies you told me.
No, I did tell you. Remember
What?
about the?
What?
I don't remember what it was like.
Tell me.
I don't remember.
You can't remember. No, I always catch you in the lie because you'll start smiling.
No. Whenever I lie, sometimes when I lie about like a bad thing, I'll literally keep a straight face like.
Mm-hmm. But what about when you lie to me like about brushing your teeth or something?
But the thing, whenever I've never lied to you. Whenever I smile, Mom, I'm not lying. That actually means I didn't lie.
Okay. What about how can I tell if you have lied? Tell me.
You can't.
I can't?
No.
I've never been able. You mean you've told me lies before?
Yeah.
Why would you do that to your mother? We're being silly. Yeah, we're excited about getting the spider, you guys. I'm going to make the spider his own TikTok account. And his name is Oreo because he's black and white. And we're going to talk on, you'll see. He's a jumping spider. So we're going to have our own TikTok account. So I'm starting a new job. I guess I can go ahead and tell you guys now. I'm starting a new job with Richie, with Richie Weber, okay, where I'm answering messages for his on his like social media accounts and stuff because people reach out to him for help for treatment. And so, but one of the awesome things about being a part of his team is I'm going to get to go with him on trips, like, to talk to people in active addiction that are struggling. Like he went to Kensington and he did a video in Kensington interviewing people that struggle with addiction there. And so I'm going to get to go with him on some of these trips sometimes. And I'm so freaking excited, dude. I'm so excited. And so he is recording with Dr. B tonight at 5:30. They're going to do a video together. And so, but he wanted me to work with him a couple months ago, but I was just too busy and just didn't feel like doing it. But we become more closer friends now, and I trust him, and I believe in the vision and what he's trying to achieve, helping people in recovery. So I'm excited to start with him. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Nate doesn't. I think he's lied to me a couple times. One time, I could tell he was lying because you could tell he was feeling guilty about it. And because I asked him something like, did you break it? Are you the one who broke this? And he was like, no. And then I could tell like his little face started getting red and, he started getting nervous looking. And I was like, it's okay. I'm not going to be angry with you. I just want to know what happened, I was like, I'll never be angry with you. I might get upset at first, but it's not at you or with you. Just disappointed, and then we'll move on from it. Yeah, so you think you like Mal? Wait till you meet Richie Weber, okay? So a lot of you guys might not know who he is, but he has a really big following on Facebook, like 1 million people on Facebook, okay? And so Richie is a person in long-term recovery, and he has been doing social media for like 6 or 7 years now. And what he does is he helps people that need help with treatment. He has been making videos for such a long time and has such a big following that he has established relationships with a bunch of different centers all across the United States. I talked about him a couple days ago. And anytime anybody needs help, if they have insurance, if they don't have insurance, and they reach out, and I can't get them help, I always call him because he has so many resources. And so that's why I get so angry when people say people that do that are body brokers, because that's not true. Like, I watch this person literally help people every single day, and it pisses me off when people say stuff like that. They say it about me too, though, so but I have a larger following than him here on YouTube. Oh no, I think he might have 3,000 on YouTube, but I used to have a bigger following than him here. But his channel, I think, is growing pretty good. I think he's about like 3,000 or 4,000 on YouTube. But his Facebook account is just ginormous. And so I could really learn a lot from him when it comes to Facebook and stuff, Yes, that's him. That's him. Yeah, look him up. Worst enemies. I used to hate his fucking guts. Y'all wanna hear the story? I'll tell y'all the story, but we're working on a video together where it's like, you'll see. It's gonna be funny. Like, where we're like enemies at the beginning, and like we show videos of us going back and forth against each other, and then and then he reached out to me and apologized. You guys know I wasn't gonna fucking go down. Y'all know I wouldn't fucking stop hating his guts unless he came to me and apologized, because he was wrong. He would always make videos countering my videos about Suboxone, and it would piss me off because I felt like he was painting Suboxone in a bad light, He would do things like, Suboxone is the worst drug to withdraw from, and then make a video. He would say that at the beginning of the video and then talk about it, and it would fucking infuriate me, dude, because I felt like he was setting people up for failure by saying that, because that's not true. If you taper off subs and you listen to your doctor, you can get off Suboxone, with little withdrawal and be successful. And so I would get so angry when he would make those videos, but that's what he would do, right? Because those are the videos that get views, right? And so I would get so mad, and then I would do it or stitch his videos and say, "You're so wrong, blah, 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 blah." And this went on for like 3 years, okay? Well, one day I was on Instagram, and I opened my Instagram messages, and he was in my inbox. And he said, "Hey, Nicole, I really want to sit down and talk to you. I feel like we might have gotten off to, the wrong start, but I've been watching your videos, and I see your heart. And I see that you and I are a lot alike, actually. And we both really just care about helping people, and I want to talk to you." And so I called him because he gave me his phone number, and we got on the phone, and he apologized to me, and he told me that, I'm one of the people that made him change his mind about Suboxone. By seeing my videos and seeing the success that I've had and how I've had success being on subs, and how I have done well and powered through and stay sober, that helped him see that, there's nothing wrong with people being on Suboxone forever, if they choose to, right? And so, that made a world of a difference when he made that amends to me. And I said, "Man, I'm sorry for fucking being mean too." Because I would say, people would say, "He's a body broker." And I'd say, "Fucking he probably is," because I was so mad. But I knew deep down inside that that's not true, So, he made amends, and it was really great. Hey, Mikey. Yeah, I do too. Like, I feel like a lot of people just misunderstood Suboxone at first, especially people that were like AA and NA people, because, a lot of us, that's what we were raised up in, was AA and NA. And so being raised up in AA and NA culture, which is basically, abstinence only recovery, and then all of a sudden, in the last 5 years, online especially, the recovery community has just really blown up and broadened into this huge accepting community. And I feel like harm reduction is coming to the forefront of our community. Harm reduction, which includes being on MAT. MAT is a form of harm reduction, and so I feel like over the last 5 years, that's just really taken the front seat in the community, and a lot of people are opening their eyes to see that, tough love, disowning your loved ones, doesn't help people get sober, and that we need to practice more love and tolerance and patience and understanding to help people that are continuing to use substances. Because, at the end of the day, like, it is if you want to use drugs, that's your decision. We just don't want you to die doing it. Okay? Like, I would rather you be high on drugs and have a safe supply and a safe place to shoot up if you need it, and people around who can revive you if you end up dying, than you to be out there on the side of the road with needles hanging out of your arm, and all this bullshit. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's just such a huge part of the change is the harm reduction. I truly do. What do y'all think? What do you guys think? Do you guys believe in harm reduction? And I'm not going to be mad at you if you say you don't. I just am asking. I think harm reduction is crucial, because we have to give people the opportunity to choose what they want. Okay, we can't force people into recovery. We can't force people into sobriety. We have to allow them to choose the life that they want to choose. And if they choose for a little while that they want to be banging dope, that's their choice. And hopefully, eventually, through time, they'll realize that, hey, you know, this banging dope life ain't serving me no more. And maybe getting sober is where it's at, you know? Oop. I love this fucking purple color right here, if y'all didn't know. It's Menagerie Cosmetics, and the color is Fruity Feast. I need to depot these. Do y'all know how to depot eyeshadows? Because, as you can see, this eyeshadow palette is a busted and disgusted. Busted and disgusted, yeah. Harm reduction, baby. Harm reduction. Oh, wait a second. I think I might be able to get in here. Oh no. You guys, I just scratched one of my favorite eyeshadows. So, come on, Nicole, you're fucking it up. You're fucking it up. It's like I could pop out the edge. I just did it. But it's like hard to get a hold of it. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, oh yeah, here we go. That one was almost completely out. Oh, there we go. Yep, did it. Did it! Boom, chakalaka, 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 boom, boom. Okay. Let's get my big palette out and put these eyeshadows in there while we're talking. Okay, so yeah, anyways, harm reduction to me is like, why it's so important is because it opens up the gateway to recovery for a lot of people who might never get into recovery, right? So instead of being like, no, the only thing you can do is stop using drugs. Instead, if we open our hearts and minds to these people, right, and let them know that whether they're using drugs or not, we're going to support them, right? And we're going to help them through their process and be there to support them, good, bad, or indifferent. Then what happens is that ends up opening up, you know, the recovery side of things for a lot of people. A lot of people who would never have even thought about getting into recovery. I'm doing it, y'all. And so, you know, if the AA way had worked, then we wouldn't really be where we're at today. Oh my God, that's my favorite fucking eyeshadow. Nicole, you're about to ruin your favorite eyeshadow. This was one of my favorite ones, and I'm over here stabbing it to death. Move on from that one, Nicole. Let's go to the other ones. If AA and NA worked so well, then we wouldn't really be, I feel like, in the predicament we are with the opioid epidemic that we're in, the fentanyl, the illicit fentanyl epidemic that we're in. There would be a lot more help for people, you know? And so that's why I believe that, oh, shitty ditty, that heart, I move with my, y'all tell me to stop. I need to do this when I'm not online because I'm stabbing my eyeshadows. But I got two of the big ones out, so that's good. Okay, so let me show y'all what the purple looks like up front. I have this really pretty dark purple matte shade. It's a expensive Viseart. I love these because you can pop the eyeshadows out really easy. But we'll take that dark purple right there on the corner and we're going to put it on my outer corner, okay? What? What, Neil? You're going to have a heat stroke. Okay. All right, I'll take him out in a minute. That's fine. No problem. I agree. You should never rely on one way to fix any problem. You okay, dude?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what we had been doing for so many years with the 12-step programs, is relying on these programs. First of all, it's a lot of politics that got us into this mess, okay? Because everybody knows that AA and NA are just kind of like programs. They're a program for a certain demographic of people. A lot of people don't believe in the things that AA and NA teaches, right? A lot of people consider AA and NA a cult, okay? Did y'all know that? A lot of people wouldn't even step foot in an AA or NA room because of its cultish vibes, you know? Hey, Nate! Nate! Come here. Shug said that head bump looked epic. Thanks, Shug. I'm telling him because that'll make him feel good. Yeah, Al-Anon, I believe is great for parents that love addicts and alcoholics. And the reason why a lot of people think that AA and NA are cults, you guys, is because they meet a lot of the requirements to be considered a cult. I don't think it's a cult, okay? I'm just telling you what some people that don't like AA and NA, how they feel. And I don't not like it. I used to do AA for the first 4.5 years I was sober. I worked the AA 12 steps and I had an AA sponsor. Okay? These last 4 years that I've been sober, I have a mentor through Smart Recovery and Mara. Okay? And it wasn't because AA did not help me, because it did. It helped me. I worked the steps backwards, forwards, upside down. Okay? It was because I don't really believe the things that they teach anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. So that's why I moved into a fellowship that aligns more with my personal beliefs. You dig? Okay. Let's just go ahead and put these eyeshadows in here also.
Are you gonna let me take a shower?
Yeah, you can take a shower, baby. Do you want to come in here now? Okay, hold on. Let me get my stuff moved out of the way, okay?
Oh, there it is. 91.
Neil wants to take a shower, so
I put your
we're gonna move
ice
into
cream
my bed.
And the other stuff in the fridge.
Thank you. I'm gonna be making ice cream floats. Baby. We're gonna be making ice cream floats. Baby. Okay. But I'm keeping this, you wanna know why? Because let's say I wanna go on a trip, okay? I can come over here to my favorite eyeshadows. They don't fit. That's a hawk of baloney bullshit crack-a-lacka. When did that happen? That's some bullshit. I thought they would fit. I swear to God I saw somebody else do this. Bullshit. Bull honka-lonka. Crapalona. Maybe I can take this thing out and there's a magnet. Oh, I'll have to figure it out. Sorry guys, I'm thinking out loud. I'm thinking out loud, baby. Whoa, thinking out loud with you guys. Killing me slowly. Advice on what, Chelsea? Let me read. Advice for helping my sister stop romancing her abusive relationship. She keeps going back. Oh, Lord. Okay, Chelsea. Are you ready? Buckle up. Here we go. I was in an abusive relationship for 6 years. I would not leave that man for the life of me, honey. When I tell you, I kept going back. I was a glutton for punishment. And it wasn't because I enjoyed getting my ass beat. It wasn't because I, liked hurting my family or any of those things. It was because he had brainwashed me. He had brainwashed me to believe that I deserved it. That what he was doing to me was deserved. And that I would not be able to find anybody else that would want to be with me or love me but him. Okay, so leaving him was scary because I thought that I wouldn't be able to find anybody. I thought nobody would want to be with me. So, what finally got me out of that situation, and it was a pretty crazy one too, was he left me for another woman. Can you believe that? He left me for another woman. And that is how I finally got away from his ass.
See, you can do that in the military.
Oh, y'all want to watch? Oh, no, we won't watch it on we won't watch it on here. I'll watch it after this. And I understand if y'all want to go watch it right now, but I'll watch it after this. So, whenever... God, they're so loud, aren't they? When I finally got away from him, guess what happened? I saw him a year later. And I went and I hooked up with him that night. Because I still loved the man. Even though he was hurting me and harming me, I still loved him. And it took me finally coming to terms with the fact that this relationship was not healthy for me and that being beat on was not love. Just cover up my pooch, my little chubby stomach. That's when I finally realized that how could I kept going back, but when you're in that moment, all you see is like, he beat her, told her that he wishes he killed her, and she still went over to his house this past Monday to make up. Yep. I did the same thing. I want you to understand. It is so hard when you are in the throes of an abusive DV relationship, okay? It's so hard to disconnect from that person and stand on your own 2 feet alone because you feel like without them, you're nothing. Because that's what they do. What they do is they brainwash you and gaslight you into believing that without them, you are nothing, okay? So imagine getting to that point where you've been brainwashed and you believe that without them, you are nothing. So every time you guys have an argument, you feel like this overwhelming feeling that you have to be reunited and back with them because without them, you won't be able to survive. It's so hard to explain if you've never been through it. But I can tell you that all it took for me was finally him cheating on me, right? He cheated on me. He left me for another woman, and that sent me into a rage, okay? It sent me into a rage, and I went to Walmart, and I got all of these boxes so I could move all of my stuff out of our house that we had together, right? And when I finally was fixing to leave Walmart, I was outside, about to leave, and I saw these 4 guys that were friends. They were all standing together, and they had these big, giant Dodge trucks. and I was like, hey guys, will you guys help me? I'm in a DV relationship and I'm trying to move away from it. And I need help getting all my stuff packed. God damn it. This is not going to work. Nicole, stop doing that. So I asked these guys to come with me, and they went with me, and we packed all of my belongings. And I got the hell out of Dodge.
There you go.
And that is how I got away from the bullshit. You know? So basically, what has to happen is she just has to get fed up. You know? She has to get fed up with being treated like dog shit. And that's what had to happen to me. And that's usually what has to happen to a lot of us. Now, there are times where the woman finally does get fed up, right? And she's like, doesn't want to live that life anymore. And that's when, like, instead of doing stuff to antagonize the person that you, that is abusing you, you don't do that. You get away. You get away. If you have to leave all your stuff, you leave all your stuff and you run. You run and you get away, because that person can be capable of anything. You don't continue to fight with them. You don't continue to go back and forth with them. You get the fuck up out of Dodge, dude. But I know a lot of you guys are learning what not to do from you know who, because she has been really doing some stupid shit when it comes to DV. This is making me mad. You know, I just tapped it again. Why am I obsessed with trying to do this, y'all? Why am I doing this? What I need is like another item to flip it while I pull it up. So I'll do that. Put that away, Nicole. Put that away. There we go. Let me do my mascara while I chit chat with you guys. So my parents, they talked to me till I was blue in the face, okay? Trying to get me to leave LD. And my abuser, he's dead. Just so you guys know, he died in a car accident. We had been broken up for like 5 years, and he was in a drunk driving accident. He was the passenger, and his friend was the drunk driver. Yes.
Dad made me another bowl.
My phone's right there. Don't knock it
Dad
down.
made me another bowl of ramen. Can you get it out of the microwave?
Yes. And I wanted to tell you something. Come here. Hello.
What?
Shug wanted me to tell you that Shug, his name is Shug.
Why do you say
Shug wanted to tell you that head thing you did was epic. I don't know, that thing you did when you knocked yourself out over here?
Yeah.
That was epic.
I was like,
Was that real, or did you do that on, it was a prank?
I did that on purpose.
That was cool, he
I
said.
didn't actually hit my head.
Yeah, I know that. Shug said it was epic. Say thank you, Shug.
Thank you.
He said thank you, he guesses. Oh, Lord. Do is try med after med. I'm sick of all these meds, though. I don't know what to do. Hey, M13. So, why do you think you're depressed? Is it, I'll tell you, I'll give you an example of what was going on with me, and then you can share with me about your situation, okay? So, whenever I was really depressed, a lot of the reasons why I was depressed, it's hot, buddy, so blow on it. And lower this TV, please, Alexander. Do you want to go outside, Jetta, on the balcony?
She's probably skinny.
You want to go out there?
When she first got this and first got skinny,
Uh-huh.
probably could have squeezed straight through.
Yeah, but I don't think she can now. But I'll wait to see if I'm not going to let her out there so she don't go over the balcony. My situation, I had like situational depression. Like a lot of it was because of our living situation, and I was just miserable where we were at and how dark it was in the house and just things like that. But we have since moved into a new place, and I've been living here since November, and I feel so much better, and I've been able to get off of all my mental health medications, which was another thing that was kind of making me depressed. Was these medications were not working for me anymore. They weren't working, you guys. And every time I would go to the doctor to talk to them about it, they would just want to give me more of Wellbutrin. And I'm like, do you not hear what the words that are coming out of my mouth, doc? These medications are not working for me anymore. Okay? Okay. Onto the website, not the app, and go to the chat bubble. Sorry, guys. There's a girl who is concerned because her appointment was at 2, and they haven't called her yet, and she's just worried that they are forgetting her. So, okay. Which, if that ever happens and you're with Recovery Delivered and they're like behind and your appointment was at 2 and they still haven't called you, you can always just text me and I will, help you get in contact with somebody. But most of the time it's just because they're behind schedule. You know what I'm saying? Which happens at the doctor's office. We know how the doctor's office can be. And that's what this lady is worried about. Yeah, so I had been on those meds since 2018, and they had stopped working. So I go to see my doctor, and I tell him, I'm diagnosed ADHD. I don't take anything for that. I have addiction, and I am on Suboxone. He knows that, right? And I am experiencing debilitating depression. And let me explain to you what it was like. It was lack of motivation, okay? Being tired all the time. Not wanting to get out of my bed. Like being just like so depressed, right? Feeling really bad about myself because of my weight, okay? Having anhedonia, not feeling any pleasure, and naturally, like not feeling pleasure naturally. Like normally I could go ride a bike and let the wind blow through my hair and I would feel happy, right? But I wasn't feeling anything like that. Or I could listen to a song and the song lyrics would give me goosebumps and I wasn't feeling anything like that. And so I went to my doctor and I told him all these things, and that motherfucker did? He tried to give me more Wellbutrin, and that's when I knew that I wasn't going to get no help from his ass. So I left, and I didn't go back to him anymore. And that's when I started taking matters into my own hands. So I started reading about microdosing psilocybin, okay? And so I started reading up on microdosing psilocybin, and I decided I would try to microdose psilocybin. So I ordered some psilocybin gummies from a person on Instagram, and they came in the mail, and I started microdosing the gummies, okay? I could tell that they were giving me mental clarity and helping me feel a little bit more energetic. But I truly believe, because I'm on Suboxone, that the effects that I was supposed to get from psilocybin were being muted. And you're not supposed to trip. This is like microdosing, okay? And so that didn't work out because I'm on subs, which no harm, no foul. I tried it out, right? I did it for a month. I would do a week on, and then 2 weeks off, and then a week on, and then 2 weeks off, okay? And so anyways, I moved on from that, and I said, let me try medical marijuana. My sister works at the dispensary, okay? She can get me any kind of medical marijuana strain I want to try, and we'll see if natural medical marijuana will help me with my depression. So I started doing sativa blend, okay? Because I didn't want to do indica because indica makes me into couch, okay? So I did the sativa blend medical marijuana, and I felt great. I had energy. I was cleaning my house. I wanted to go do things, but I couldn't stop eating. I could not stop eating. Okay, so that didn't work out. And this is all while I'm taking Wellbutrin and Lexapro, right? And so finally, in November, we moved here. This was all before I moved to this house. So this is last year. We moved here in November, and I started taking over-the-counter medication for weight loss to try and help me bump my metabolism up, burn some fat, and get the weight off. Maybe that would help me feel a little bit better, right? I love it when people try to expose me, but there's nothing. So I was taking the diet pills, and they were helping me lose weight. I actually lost almost 50 pounds, 45 pounds, okay? So I was doing really good. Losing the weight made me feel more confident and made me feel better. But those weight loss pills, man, they were making me loopy. They were making me not sleep very good. And so I'm fine as long as I can sleep. When I'm not sleeping, that's when I start going into psychosis. That's when I start feeling some type of way. And so when I started losing sleep, that's when I knew that I needed to not take them anymore, right? So I stopped taking those. So everything that I was trying to find that could have been like a remedy, as in a medication or some kind of plant medicine, it wasn't panning out. It wasn't something that I could continue doing, right? So I decided, okay, you know what? Actually, my dear, my husband relapsed. I'm not going to continue, taking these things. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and I'm going to taper off my medications. And I'm going to start from square motherfucking one. Okay? And so that's what I did. I started from square one, and that was the best thing I could have done, because now I feel better than ever. Okay? I tapered slowly, taking little bites off my pills, y'all. That's how tiny of amounts I was taking off. I was not going fast at all. Yeah, so that helped me a lot. And now I'm not on anything except for my medication, my Suboxone, okay? And I am not smoking, not drinking, do any of those things, right? I just take my MAT as prescribed, right? I just take my MAT as prescribed, and now I'm going to start working on my gut health. And so that's my new focus, is my gut, okay? And so I was using the Happy drink. Remember I told you guys about it? Happy Juice. But I decided to stop taking Happy Juice because it's not something that I can afford, and I don't want to get on and use something that I can't afford, and because I want to be able to recommend it to you guys. So I'm trying the Bloom drinks now. Did you ever try looking for the weed strains that are specifically supposed to curb your appetite? No, I didn't. I'll have to ask my sister about it. But, like, that was just such a big deterrent for me, you guys, because I cannot be eating all day. Like, okay. Yeah, you're welcome, MT. And let me just tell y'all something, okay? These are just things that I tried. I want to be very, very blunt with you guys. Listen to me when I say this. I had over 4 years sober. When I started doing all this, I was at 6 years sober. I was at 6 years sober before I ever thought about trying plant medicine. If you're a person who is abstinent from all mind or mood altering substances, and you're only on MAT, and you're only or you're completely abstinent, and you're not taking any kind of medication, and you are wanting to try something new, I would not do this in early recovery. I would not recommend trying medical marijuana in early recovery, okay? This is something I waited until I had multiple years of sobriety, okay? Because I don't want any of you guys to relapse because of a suggestion that you heard me suggesting. I do not suggest that you do any of those things with less than 1 year sober, okay? Serious. That's right, Shug. Oh, good job, Darcy. I'm proud of you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because listen to me. I have seen too many people start smoking weed because they saw somebody else start smoking weed, and then they start drinking because they saw somebody else that drinks in recovery, and then they are all back to their addictions. They're all back to smoking crack. They're all back to shooting fentanyl. They're all back to shooting methamphetamine. Like, it is really, really sad, and I just don't want that to happen to any of you guys, to any of you guys. One of my girls in my Patreon, bless her heart, her husband was in treatment, and I told her, stand your ground. He needs to stay in treatment. He needs to be in there for 90 days or 60 days. And he hadn't even finished a whole month of treatment yet, you guys. And he was already trying to come home, right? And he ended up leaving treatment and coming home. And you guys, just listen to what happened. She just texted me today and told me about it. He was out riding his motorcycle. A fucking truck hit him and broke his fucking back. And I'm just like when I feel something in my bones about something, and I'm telling you that your loved one needs to stay in treatment for as long as they can, it's because I feel it in my fucking bones. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. Is that a feeling that I have that's really important. And she even felt this way too. She didn't want him to leave. She did not want him to leave treatment, and he left treatment, came home, and went out to take a little joyride. He was completely sober, and somebody hit him, y'all. He's alive, but now he's back on all the opioids because he's fucking got crushed, got ran over, and it was a hit and run. The truck ran over him and left him there. I already gave them to him. Intuition, yeah. And she felt it too. I don't want to say her name because I don't know if she want me to say who she is, but it was really sad, and it's really fucked up, like, and it wasn't because I was trying to be mean to him, but I told her he has no business coming out of that treatment center for at least 60 days. Because I don't believe 30 days is enough. And if anybody ever asks me, that's what I tell them, that they need to be in treatment longer than 30 days. Because 60 days is just the beginning, dude. It's just the tip of the iceberg. 30 days is you're just starting to get the drugs out of your system. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jesus. So I was addicted to opioids also. So I was not just a meth addict. A lot of people think that because I guess I need to sit down and tell my story in short form so you guys will know. Because I think a lot of people think I'm on subs for meth addiction. That's not why I'm on Suboxone. I'm on Suboxone because I had a fucking debilitating opioid dependency. I was addicted to shooting up Roxy's, Dilaudids. I used to eat methadone wafers like they were fucking going out of style, mixed with a Xanax on the side. And I got on Suboxone because when I got out of treatment, I had 30 days sober when I got out of treatment. I could not stop thinking about opiates. For some reason, I wanted to get high on opiates so fucking bad. And so, yeah.
But there's nothing to expose. Actually, my dear, I love it when
MAT is medication-assisted treatment or medication-assisted recovery, and it could be methadone, Suboxone. It could be,
actually, my dear,
what's the other one?
my husband relapsed back in
Sublocade,
2020, almost 4 years ago.
Vivitrol.
And when it happened, I literally
Those are forms of MAT treatment. So when I got out of treatment, I had 30 days sober, like I said, and I came home. All I could think about was opioids. I had a really hard time with my opiate addiction. And I, went to, I went home. My husband was there. My husband told me I got on Suboxone. He had gotten on Suboxone while I was in treatment. And I was so mad at him, you guys, because I thought, you're just trying to get high. You're just trying to work your way around the system, right? And because I didn't know, I was uneducated when it came to subs. And so for about a week, I fucking white knuckled it. I was like, hanging on by a thread. And that's when my husband said, why don't we go down to talk to Dr. Mancino about getting you on subs? And I was like, no. Well, the caseworker, the Child Protection Service caseworker, came over and said, Nicole, you should really try this. It could save your life. Okay? And so I listened to the caseworker. I went down. I gave it a try. And the rest is history, baby. I went from being a person who could not stay sober. I would get sober and I would relapse every single time at 6 months. 6 to 9 months, I would always relapse every single time. So I went from being that person who tried, I've been to over 5 treatment centers. I've been to 7 to 10 different sober livings, and I have been just in and out of therapy, right? And I went from being a person who couldn't stay sober to a person who has been sober for almost 8 years. I'll have 8 years in July. And when I tell you, there's nobody that can shame me. There's nobody that can tell me different. There's nobody that can disregard my sobriety, because I know I am literally a walking poster child for Suboxone sobriety, for medication-assisted treatment sobriety. I have done everything the way I'm supposed to do it. I have gone to therapy. I'm still in therapy to this day. Every time I get out of therapy, I find a new reason to put myself back into it. And when I tell you, I worked hard. I started out from the bottom. I started out not knowing how to take my medication as prescribed and struggling and overtaking it. I started out where I used to have a friend. She couldn't get her own prescription, so I would give her 1 Suboxone every week so that way she would be able to have her own medication to save her life. Guess what? That's wrong. I used to be the person that would buy subs because I couldn't afford to pay my doctor. Guess what? That's wrong. I made all the mistakes, but I was honest about every single step of the way, you know? And I have shared my journey online with all the mistakes that I've made to help other people, so that way you don't feel ashamed of making the mistakes that I've made. Because every single person who goes from shooting dope every single day of their life, right, to now being responsible for taking this medication that's supposed to save their life, goes through the stuff that I've went through. It's literally part of being a drug addict. And I have worked so hard to take the stigma away from being on MAT treatment for other people. And I will be damned if anybody tells me that I'm not doing recovery, that I'm not sober, that I'm not working hard, because I'm living proof. I'm literally a walking, talking billboard for how to live your life in sobriety on MAT. True, real talk. And I can say that confidently because of the work I put in, y'all. I'm not just saying this out, talking out the side of my neck. Like, I have worked hard to get to where I'm at, you know? Hard. I have owned up to things, and I have fucking taken responsibility and accountability for things that embarrass the fuck out of me. And I literally will continue to do the same thing until the end of time. Hey, I agree. 30 days ain't shit. It's just not a tough time, you know? So, yeah. I don't know. I get really passionate when I talk about MAT, you guys, because, like, this is serious, you guys. Like, people made me feel like I was less than, and I already felt like that. Like, I was already a drug addict who struggled with depression and struggled with low self-esteem. And then I had people telling me that were people that were supposed to be sober, that were telling me that I wasn't in recovery because I was on MAT, and telling me that I shouldn't be sharing my story because I was on MAT. And that was literally devastating for me. Devastating. And so going from being made fun of, being talked about behind my back, like I said, people calling me names, calling me a body broker, saying I'm not sober, to being a person who can work with Dr. B, work with Richie, you know, have this amazing job and a following of people that trust and believe in her is a miracle to me. Like, I feel like I'm a miracle, you know. God, don't get emotional, Nicole. So I don't want to cry because I just did my makeup, you know. So anyway, I feel like I have really come such a long way, and I am very proud of myself. You know, I'm very, very proud of myself, and it's been hard work. Oh, thanks, Jesus. I appreciate the compliment, and it is not easy to get to where I've gotten, you know, but I put the work in, and if I can put the work in and do this, so can you. Every single one of you guys can do the same exact thing that I have been able to do in my own sobriety, okay? Only you could probably do it better, okay? You could probably do it better than me. So let's change out my watch. I want to change it to this black watch wrist thingamajigger, and I want to show you guys my new earrings. So let me show you these while we chit chat. What other questions y'all got for me today? I'm listening. Okay, so what's wrong with getting subs where you can? Okay, I understand that it's helping you, and I'm not shaming you. Please listen to what I say. It's illegal, baby. It's illegal.
Will you have me some underwear?
Yes, I will.
I thought I had some.
It's not, I'm not shaming you. I've been there, but it's illegal. So getting your own prescribed medication is, it's important as a part of recovery for you to do what's legal and right. Okay. So we've all been there. We've all done it, right? I'm not shaming you, but once you get sober and you get on your feet, you need to get a legal prescription. You know, and so that's why I provide you guys with the link to Recovery Delivered. I'll put it in the chat right now, because it is important. It's important. You could get yourself in trouble doing that. You know, who's to say that you don't get pulled over one day with a Suboxone strip in your car and don't go to jail because of it? You know, or who's to say that you're buying them from Joe and Joe runs out and then you don't. Why did I put Reddit and put the Reddit link? That's not where I wanted to put. And I don't even think that's a Reddit link. That's like, that link won't even work. Okay. So do you understand what I'm saying? So I hope that helps you understand why you shouldn't buy subs off the street, because that's not what you're supposed to do. It's not right. It's illegal. It could be laced with something. They could have dipped it in Suboxone. Dipped it in whatchamajigger? What's it called? Fentanyl. So yeah. I hope that helps you understand, baby. So that way, you hear what I'm saying. Okay? Okay. You've been sober 7.5 years. Are you talking about you've been the person who's buying them off the street? Oh, I think I'm supposed to put it behind. Yeah, behind. You understand what I'm saying? And if you're sober 7.5 years and you're still buying Suboxone off the street, then you need to go get your own legal prescription. Okay, baby? Okay, I hope you understand. So, what other questions? That was a great question, though, baby. Very good question, because a lot of people don't know, y'all. A lot of people don't know, and I totally understand that. Here's another instance of why you shouldn't be buying Suboxone off the streets or from somebody you know. Here's another example. Let's say you're online and somebody decides, I don't like, what's your name? Sabby. I don't like Sabby. I'm calling CPS on her. And they call CPS on you, and CPS comes knocking on your door, asks you for a drug test, okay? And you give them a drug test, and now you're failing for Suboxone because you don't have your own prescription. You see what I'm saying? These are all just examples to help Savvy understand what I'm saying. So. Okay, so let me show you now, okay? So, Subutex, Suboxone, whichever one, it doesn't matter. Okay, so do you see how they're floating? So they're little floating opals. we love them? Do we love them? What do y'all think? Okay. Little floating opals. What other questions? That was a good question. Thanks for asking me that. I haven't had anybody ask me that in a while. How do you cope with feeling overwhelmed? One of my biggest triggers is feeling overwhelmed and not doing enough or being good enough. That's a great question. Savvy, please understand something. I'm not picking on you, girl. You just asked a question, so I'm telling you the answer. It's illegal. Okay? It is illegal to buy other people's prescriptions. And that's why you're not supposed to do it. Okay? You know what I'm saying, girl? I know you know what I'm saying. So, anyways, about being overwhelmed and thinking you're not enough. Oh, Lord. Okay, let me think. So, I get overwhelmed, okay? I get overwhelmed, and a lot of times what will happen for me is, you know, especially since my channel got deleted, that was really a hard thing for me to go through because of how hard I worked on that channel. And so when that happened, I was devastated, and I felt very overwhelmed with what am I going to do? How am I going to recover from this? How am I going to get back to doing my channel and doing what I love and connecting with people? They're not going to be able to find me. You know, I felt fucked up, man. It was a really fucked up feeling. And so what I do that helps me, and this, you can try this. You don't have to do anything I suggest. You guys know that. What has helped me is to talk about how I feel. Okay. And I know a lot of you guys are really shy. That's why we do the Patreon, because I want Patreon to turn into a thing where you guys come on there, okay? And I want you guys to be able to come on there and share and talk inside Patreon on the lives and not feel embarrassed or ashamed to share what you're going through. And because to me, processing with a group of people that are going through the exact same things you're going through, dude, when I tell you, it changed my life. Like coming on here every single day and talking about my daily struggles has been so instrumental to my growth in recovery. Like it saved my life. That saved my life. If I didn't do that, I don't know if I would be sober today. Okay? Like legit serious as a heart attack. And so what I do when I feel overwhelmed or I'm feeling some type of way, I talk about it. I process that shit. I come online and I do process group things with you guys. And that has helped me so fucking much through my fucking 8 years of sobriety. In fact, I would probably bet to say that processing things and coming online and talking about it is probably one of the main reasons why I have stayed sober. Yeah, I believe that. That's why. So, that's what I do. I come on, I talk about it. If you don't feel comfortable talking about it in a large group, I reach out to somebody that I trust and talk to them about how I'm feeling and let them know, yo, I'm feeling really inadequate. I'm feeling really low down. I'm feeling like I'm not good enough. And whenever I get to sit down and talk with somebody who cares about me, about how I feel, and I tell them that I'm having these feelings of inadequacy, feelings that I don't fit in, feelings that I'm not good enough, yada, yada, yada. Every time I talk to somebody that cares about me and loves me, they always let me know, oh my gosh, no, girl, are you crazy? You are amazing. I can't believe you feel like that, Nicole, because I actually feel like that sometimes too. And then we sit down and we talk about how we both feel, you know, that we are inadequate and that we're not good enough a lot. And we realize that a lot of people feel like that. We're not the only ones. And that is a fucking good feeling to know when you're not the only person that feels like that. You know, I think a lot of times whenever you're struggling with feeling those feelings, it can be fucking really lonely, and you can feel like I said, like you're the only person in the world who has that kind of feeling or struggle, right? But guess what? You're not. And being able to talk to somebody makes it so much better for me. I mean, there's other things you could do. I just seen somebody say something about journaling. And then, what do we think, y'all? Somebody said something about journaling, or some people, like to do there's little exercises that you can do where you, write things down in a letter form about how you're feeling, and then instead of keeping it, you bury it or burn it or something like that. There's all kinds of cool little exercises that you can do that are like that. But for me, it's always just been, it just feels good. And I think the reason why is because I'm talking to other people that have the same issues. And so when I'm able to talk to other people that are going through things that are similar to what I'm struggling with, that's why it makes it such a healing experience, because it's other people understand and can relate, and we're going through it together, So let's look at this makeup look in the light, you guys. Do we love it? We love it. Okay. Yeah, it's $2. It's $2, baby. I'll put my Patreon link, I guess, in the chat too. I think my mods are taking a day off today. Hold on. Mods, are y'all taking a day off? Or they might have left. Okay. / discovering. There you go. There you go. So, okay. My faith in God. So I'm going to share with y'all, y'all know, I was raised up in Pentecostal church, right? So I was raised up super duper 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 Pentecostal religion. And we got out of that religion when I was younger, but we were still in the Assembly of God religion, where we, you want to go in there with Daddy? Go in there with Daddy. Call Jeddah. Where I spoke in tongues. I believed in God. I believe in, being saved and that kind of thing. But when I got older and I started to get into a relationship with Neil, and I was in active addiction, I lost contact with God, okay? And the reason that happened was because I felt very ashamed that I started using drugs, and I thought God didn't want to me anymore. I thought He abandoned me, okay? So it wasn't until I gave birth to my son, and my son was born healthy, and he didn't get taken away from me, that I knew that God hadn't abandoned me. Because there's no way in hell that my son should have been born without drugs in his system. But he was, and he was perfect when he was born. And so, when that happened, I knew that there was a God out there watching after me still, and that He hadn't forgotten about me, and that my dumb ass just needed to get back on track with talking to Him. So when Nathaniel was born and he didn't get taken away from me, I remember I made a deal with God. I said, God, if I make it out of this hospital and I get to take my son home, and CPS don't come knocking out on my door in 2 weeks or however many days, right? I will never use drugs again. And I meant it. Okay? So I was able to leave the hospital. I was able to go home, and my son didn't get taken away from me. So I sobered up. And I stayed sober for 90 days, all by myself. And then I relapsed. When I relapsed, I got back into my addiction. I got back into that mindset of God is mad at me. He doesn't care about me. I screwed up. Now He's really going to come down with a wrath, and I'm fucked, right? And then a year later to the day, 2 days before my son's first birthday, CPS came knocking on my door because my best friend called CPS on me. So when CPS took my son and they wouldn't let him go to my mother-in-law. I said, God is punishing me. He's punishing me because I started doing drugs when I said I wouldn't, and I broke my promise, right? So now my son's being taken from me and going to CPS. And now they won't let him go with his grandma and grandpa. I was pissed. Okay? I was pissed at God, y'all. When I tell you, I was saying, fuck you, God. Eat shit and die. Like I was mad. I was in treatment. I went through detox. I was in treatment. And then I got caught with Xanax in the treatment center. And then I had my back up against the wall again. So I said a foxhole prayer. God, I know that you're mad at me, but if you will please not let me get kicked out of this treatment center, I will never use drugs again. Please, they're going to take my son away. They're going to stop my rights. They're going to terminate my rights. If you will just help me and not let me get kicked out of here, I will stay sober this time. I mean it. I messed up before, but I promise you, I'm being honest this time. Well, 2 weeks I was waiting, sitting on the edge of my seat, just knowing that I was going to get kicked out of treatment because I had Xanax delivered to the treatment center. They caught me. And that's when 2 weeks went by and I was still in the treatment center and I was graduating the 30 days. And that's when the owner of the treatment center came to me and said, we made you sit on the edge of your seat for 2 weeks, not knowing whether you were going to get kicked out because you deserved it. But we didn't want you to lose custody of your son. And the caseworker told us if you got kicked out, you would lose custody of your son. You would get your rights terminated. So Neil picked me up. And I went home and I never used drugs again. And now I'll have 8 years sober in July. So I would have to say that God has saved me many times. And there's no explaining a lot of the reasons why I got saved. The only thing that could explain it is God. God in other people. God helping other people see the potential in me. And that I am a good person and I do have a good heart. And I just was really sick and needed help. So,
and they knew we could do it.
yeah. And these people
I
had...
think if we were unable to do it, I don't think we would have ever gotten back.
Yeah, if we were unable to take care of our child or we didn't have the means to do it, I think that we wouldn't have gotten him back. But people saw the potential in me and my husband, and they knew how hard we were working, and they knew that I fucked up. You know, I fucked up. I was traumatized when my son was taken from me. And Xanax to me was the answer to that. Xanax to me was going to give me relief from feeling the way I felt. You know, because when I tell you, you guys see how I still feel that way about having my son taken from me. You know, so anyways, long story short, God has played a huge role in me staying sober, and I owe him so much more gratitude than I give him, but I try to always, you know, be grateful and let you guys know how God has saved me, because like I said, there's no reason why my son should have been born without drugs in his system, but my son came out beautiful, perfect, and unharmed, unscathed, okay? And so there's no reason why I should have walked out of that hospital with my son. There's no reason. He should have been taken from me that day. And I still walked out of that hospital. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to make a short version of this story for you guys, because I feel like it's a really good testimony to share with people. But I've shared it on my Facebook, where I share about my belief in a higher power and God, and how he has saved my life, been a part of my life, you know? So anyways, God, I'm crying my damn makeup off, y'all. Y'all made me do it. So, thank you, Banana. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I love you guys, okay? I'm going to get off here and go make me and Neil and Nate some dinner, and some root beer floats for dessert. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, hanging out with us. I would love to have every single one of you guys join Patreon. Like I said, it's only $2. And I really do take it seriously when y'all do give me your $2. I don't take it lightly. It's a big deal to me because I work very hard for my living. And so I know how hard it is. Even if it's just $2 to me, that's $200, you know? So. Oh, that's awesome, Mikey. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I will put up a community tab post of when we'll go live tomorrow. And I would love for you guys, when I end this video, to please put in the comment section what you would like to talk about tomorrow, because I really want to talk about topics that help you guys. So, and I don't know what you guys want to talk about. So please comment what you guys want to talk about, and I love you guys, and thank you all for being here. Hey Tara, what's up, girl? Y'all go subscribe to Tara Canna Mindful, Burn the Stigma. Okay, she is a plant medicine girl, and so y'all know I support all forms of recovery. So go support Tara's Canna Mindful, Burn the Stigma. She just started her channel, and so she could use some people over there to support her and push her videos out there for her. Okay, so I hope you guys, thank you. I hope you guys had a good time with me on this live. And like I said, we'll do another one tomorrow. So yeah. Leave me some comments and tell me what y'all want to talk about tomorrow. Okay. All right. Good night, you guys.